All right, is there any echo going on? Can you hear it clear? Yes? No? Okay, cool. So, last time we studied the result module in iOS automation. So, UI catalog was on the app for iOS platform. Now, so we can build all the pages based on the epics you have. So we saw the app that has alerts, buttons, controls, image page, pre-chorus page, search bar page, segments, text field, text view, toolbar, transition page, UI catalog page, which is UI catalog was, which is the home page or the default page of that UI catalog. Navigation UI. So what we can do based on the epics, we first design all the you can have that. Okay. So for each page, we should derive a class, and in the derive a class, we can declare some variables, which is well, if you want to use find by, you can do that. If you don't have, if you want to go other route, which is simply call type by or click by xbar and write the method. You can also do that if you don't want to do find by. Whatever the easier or convenient or appropriate, you can select and build those methods. Either you can directly implement the methods and call the common API or base class methods like type by or xpath, type by CSS. We don't have CSS here, but type by ID name or xpath or click by xpath, so on, which is coming from generic module in the base class. So these are the methods you can use and add more methods here. Get more methods for it here. So to only get those methods working here, we can call those up and implement the methods here for each page. So write text to fields to one of the features, and the feature combined of these methods, which is type on UI text field, type on UI text field rounded, secure, and fill left build. So those four methods can be outside in one feature, which is write text to field. And this text field can be initialized in the text field test. So in the text field test, you can create the class, which is to declare the text field, right? And so UI catalog, stage factory, init elements, we pass the API driver, and UI catalog dot class. So UI catalog dot get text fields. So get text field class is under UI catalog. Let's open that app so we can see what's going on. once you launch the app, first thing we see the features of UI catalog, right? Buttons, controls, text fields, text view. So if you were to go one of the features, so we need some action, which is tap on it or click on it, right? So that could be one method, right? Tap or click on the features. So now, if we can class, which is UI catalog, and based on all the features that you can tap on it, implement those methods. So we said, okay, let's build a method of clicking on text view or text fields or buttons. This is what exactly we did. So UI catalog, extend the base. We need the base catalog to have that these options. So we have the elements, right? How we did it here? We grab all the elements. We grab all the elements from here, right? If you go over that, and these are all the elements. So what we did is, at one shot, we get all the list of elements. The store into array list is because simply the expert will increase by 1. So if you get a list of all the elements, store the array list, and from the array list, you can say, okay, element 0, element 1, 2, 3, so on. This is how we manage to capture all the elements on the UI catalog. So this method, which is fetching the elements, that's what you have to call in each method. So fetch those elements, which is this array list elements, and then elements dot get 0, 1, based on that order we have. So 0 is buttons, control is 1, text field is 2, search for is 3, so on. This is how we handle that page. It's right here. So this is, if you click on buttons, see that. So it's stored on array list all the elements. So this is the button position 0, control 1, text field is 2, so on. It's storing to array list. So when you store the array list, it's index best. Array list is index best, right? Yeah. So button will be on index 0, control will be index 1, text field will be index 2, so on. So once you fetch this by XPath, and then you go by index value. This is how you click on each items. Alright? So elements of 0, elements of 1, so on. So this is actually no, it's not running in a loop. We're saying, okay, let's first derive a method that get all the elements, and then call this method, which is page, right? And then this method has array list. So get an array list of 0, array list of 1, 2, 3, so on. So if you click on text field, that is elements of 2, which because here, text field is here, elements of 2. So you click on that. Once you click on that, it will return the text field class, right? So we do have text field class where we can, enter the unique text field, round it, and secure, and so on. So we need to also implement some methods to enter text field into this page. So in this text field class, which is derived from this page into a class, and implement some methods that you can enter text into the fields. This is what exactly we did. Text field page. We don't use the methods to enter.
Somebody might be unmuted in your audience. So background noise.
Oh, because I'm using two machines, so that's why. Okay. So that's why I was asking guys. No one said that we have issue. Okay. Thank you. Now let me unmute one of them. I think from a Mac and stuff. So just unmute. Okay, how about now, guys? Codes? Uh, okay. How about now? Is it better? No audio? It should be audio. Low? Or low? Uh, hello, hello. Still low? Voice is low? The voice still low? Still low? It's better now? Is it better now? Mute everybody. Mute everybody from there. Oh, mute all. Better now? Yes? Better, yeah. Better. Good, thank you. Okay. So what we did for text field is implement those methods. Is because you have to type on to that fields in a text fields, rounded, secure, and left view. So this is what we did, implement those methods, and it's a one feature we could say for text field. So we implement it into one method, right? Text field to a fields. So you can You can call this method here, right? Implement one method, single method. So you can call this one when you write a text, when you write a test of text fields. So you can call text fields test, extends navigate UI. What is navigate UI? Do we need that navigate UI? What navigate UI for? Uh, without navigate UI, can you run the test? So you're saying UI catalog here, right? Why you still need navigate UI then? So this class is going to home. Here 15. I don't know if it's necessary. If you have UI catalog and bottom text. All right. If you don't have, okay. It's navigate UI also calling the base. So we need to use the base because of npm driver and to launch the browser. So we need one another layer, but I don't know why we need this method, home method. All right, let's run it from here. Can you say simply from base and do that? Can you run it? Let's try. All right, so go to resources and run this. Yeah, so that's fine. We don't need that. We don't need that navigate UI class. All right. So simply say base. Okay. So for buttons, now remove this and try to run both. Let's run it. It should run two tests, right? First one is button, one is text fields. So you click on the button, simply did nothing there and close it. The next one is click on text field. So you're going to launch the new app. You click on text fields and enter those fields. Okay, both went just passed. So now let's do what you have inside the button, so you can add those test cases. All right, so let's go to buttons. What can you do in the buttons? Not much here actually. bottom image. Validate text maybe. Okay, is there any other class you can do something? Control. Yeah, that you can also switch. Yeah. Search bar. What is in search bar? Nothing is there. Picker, you can select the picker image. Yeah, I can verify the image. Let's not that many features you can test here. Okay, let's see what we have here. Okay. So background image is gray. What do you want to test here, gray? You don't see the features that can do anything. If you click on it, it doesn't change anything. So many items here. Speaker. Okay. Okay, so one speaker, two. Okay, let's start it. Google Picker. So you have three picker here. One, two, one. Okay, I was looking for more features that you can automate, but this search don't have anything. Anyway, we'll go back to code. So simply we can do is, for button, what we did, we just simply click on the buttons actually. Now you can keep writing test cases, controls test, right? And that can extends base, okay? And we can have a method to test annotation. Controls, right? So what we can do is simply copy that control. Instead of say we'll say get controls. Okay. So now this should be part of the test class, and iPhone dot control test. All right. So keep going until you have a search bar. So derive a class called search bar. That can extend search bar page. Do you have search bar page? Search bar page. ARCH bar. Oh no. Extend base bar. So UI search bar, and what do you have complaint here? Expected. Oh, we have two methods should be. So get search research bar. We didn't build that search. We didn't. So button controls text. We didn't click on that. Oh. So how we can expect 0, 1, 2? How did it work then? Get controls. After controls, text bar, text fields, and then is search bar should be. Get search bar. So this should be 3. This should be 4. right? Get search bar, text view. Yeah, we didn't follow the order. After search bar is text view, right? And there should be 4. And what is this? Get pickers, right? This should be 5. Image should be 6. Wave should be 7. Segment should be 8. How I missed it, right? Toolbar should, oh, then toolbar we don't have, right? Get segments, then toolbar. 9. Alerts, transitions. So 10 and 11. All right, so now we can call in the search bar that get search bar. Okay, so this should be part of the test now. Class iPhone dot search bar. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Get one more. Text view. So let's create a class for text view. Text view test that can extend and base and test. Text view. Okay. It failed. We don't start session. Okay, restart Appium. Oh, we didn't launch it. Guess what? If you, let's say if you do have features under each category, which is button controls, so you will be doing that. Not significant features now that we can write. Maybe there are a few of them. But let's say we do have features. In that case, we can implement those steps on each classes. Right? That way we did for text field, what is it? Text fields, yes. That way we're doing it now here, right? So this is one simple test that can you click on button, can you click on controls, can you go to that page, can you click on text view page, can you go to search bar page. So it should write all the test cases based on the epics you will on the page you derive, right? You should have all different test cases, very small test cases. It's easy to manage, right? and you can run in under one runner if you want, or you can have multiple runners if you wish. So now see that it ran, it took few seconds or minutes, right? It's because we don't have features that much here. But the way we're trying to do is get a class for each epics. So get a test class for each epic. Control test, you could have more features in control test. And if you do have those more test cases, we should write where? In control class here, right here. The way we did it for text fields. So text field, we can write those methods. We can use find by, or simply use the base class methods, and then this text field can be derived or create instance here. How we did that? Create an instance of text fields. So text fields dot write text fields. So on. So you'll have for control, you'll have control dot control equals new control. The control dot whatever the features of control page we have. This is how we can design object model, right? So if you go back to UI catalog, so if you click on button, so I click on buttons, it's going to return the button class, not a string, not a void. It's going to return the button page. So you're going to go to button page, do whatever activities you need to do. Same with text field. If you click on text field, it's going to return the text field class. So if you're going to go text field, this is what you see in text field. That under text field you can do, these are the methods we have, right? So when you design, make sure you follow the workflow, not like random thing we're doing here. So once you click on the text field, you should return the text field class, not a control, because we're not going to control page, whether we're going to text field page, because this method is clicking on the text field, so it should return the text field page. That's why this method is returning text field page. When you return this is where we go. This is the method you can access once you go to text field class. So that method should return that text field page, right? So we are saying we're going to design first UI catalog, right? Based on this. This is the UI catalog pages. So if I click on text field, it should return the text field class. Then we can enter the text in the text fields. This is what we are saying in the UI catalog class. If we say click on text field, this is the class. This is the part it's doing. Line 43, element.get to click on text field. So if you click on that, that action should take you to that one new page. What is the new page should be? This should be text field type. And if you want to say type, Java strongly typed language, the text field type is here. This is the text field class. And once you on this class on this page, you can access this activities, right? So if I say in text field class, okay, UI get text fields, so it's going to return text field class, and if it doesn't return text field class, if you return controls, you won't be able to do this test, right? Because it's not accessible. In order to write this text, I need to go first text field view of that page. This is how it's going to go. It's going to return the text field page. Questions? Yes, Bilal?
Yes, hi. So then why are we initializing this in the top text fields?
Okay, so if you don't get text field, you won't be able to access the
should we not be able to, right after UI dot get text fields, after that can we just do dot and go for write text to fields method because it's returning us that method, right? So like that class with all the methods.
even it's return, but how you can access it to enter?
Right after, like, instead of you breaking right here, you just add a dot, and you would have access to all the
Okay,
methods in the.
you see, yes,
Yes.
that makes sense. We don't need that actually. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Perfectly fine. Yes, it's awesome.
Now it should work, right?
Yeah, that should also work. It's a good
Because
point.
like me and Furkan, like we've been trying to get this thing working on like on our web apps, but
Yeah.
we get null pointer exception when we try to do it this
Okay.
way.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this is how it should be actually. So what I was doing is it's a kind of redundant, right? You returning a page again. You are instantiating the
Yes,
class.
that's what I was saying. I mean,
Yeah,
what's the purpose of returning it then if you're gonna
exactly.
initialize it over there?
It's a very good point to make. Thank you. Hopefully, let's say if it, I don't know if it works, should work. Uh, let's go back to launch it. And then here, let's focus on simply text field for now.
Can you unmute Furkan, please? I think he has something
No,
to add to
okay,
this.
sure. Furkan.
Okay, so one thing, that method we're trying to access the, the way we just did it, it won't work if where the method you're accessing has web elements because you need to initialize those web elements through Page Factory. Otherwise, they'll give you a null pointer exception. So,
Oh,
for instance, in the buttons page, if you're actually creating web elements over there, this method won't work because you need to actually initialize those elements.
but this process works though.
Yeah, but in write text to fields, you don't have any web elements, right? So let's say if you create some web elements over there.
Right here?
Yeah, over here you see you're just typing by XPath. You're not actually creating any web elements. So let's say you had a list of web elements here.
Okay.
It would give you a null pointer exception. I tried that yesterday.
Oh,
So
well, then you need to initialize.
yeah, you would have to initialize this page regardless. Then you would, then it beats the.
Super, right?
Yeah, then you would have to do UI, whichever page it is. For instance, let's say it
Well,
was text field,
yeah.
right? So you would have to initialize the page factory.
Okay. I mean, here's a good point. That is, if we do every time you do this Page Factory, right? Go to your catalog. If you do Page Factory, you must initialize, otherwise you'll have null pointer exceptions. Even though you don't have like find by those, if you do Page Factory, you must have Page Factory dot elements. Otherwise, you'll have null pointer exceptions. But here, what I was doing was wrong actually. That is, with an instance of text field is already returning that. No need to create an instance. So that page will return that text fields class, and text field class will have access to do whatever the method we declared in that class. So you can access one by one, right? Type into unique text field, type, but we don't need to do that step by step. Rather, we implemented one method called write text to fields, so we call that method, which is very convenient, right? It's even more modular, right? So UI get text field, or you could rename it to. You should rename that. Rename to. We could say go to text. Go to text field, right? Go to text field. So once you said that, go to text field dot write text to the fields. write text to the fields. Okay, so this you can reduce number of lines of code and also much more modular.
Can you try to run this? I don't think it's writing the text. It's just, navigating to that page and it's closing it. Can you run it, please?
Yep. One. I wanted to let you know that if you Appium is running one session to inspect elements, next time you try to run the code, it won't work. You need to new sessions. So restart the Appium in order to have new sessions. Or you can run it.
Yes, it is working.
Yeah, it's a very good point. There is very appropriate that we should be doing since it is returning that class, why not call that? Yeah.
So
So how many?
if we're calling, like, if you're like moving from one menu to another menu, you can have, multiple of these type of layers. So you can navigate from one to another and then finally call a method and then kind of stop there.
Yeah. So if your application have robust and have so many features, then you'll see that using, right now this UX head don't have much features, but you do have applications that have many workflows or many features. In that case, you should go by designing like payload model, right? And get all the epics pages first, and then drive all the test cases. So it's easy to maintain, easy to add, and easy to run even. Thank you guys. Any other questions? Anyone? Okay, so I'm going to grab more methods here and push it here. One of them are screenshot. So we need to do swipe up, swipe down, and many other, and that method can be implemented. I'll push it now. 1 second. It's better way to do it. Okay. We have some. So get text, type by expert. Those are lower value expert. We have three, so shouldn't complain. Sleep, sleep. You already have sleep. Already fine, so remove it. Define, okay. Okay, so the base has more method now. Those are beside so beside those few click options, we can do now, of course, by ID and others. We can touch, swipe right to left, swipe left to right, swipe up, swipe down, over until, and find by expert on platform specific. Tap on. So those are the methods can be useful. So if you need more, we can keep adding, explore every few months. They do deprecate some of the methods and to update that, even to keep eye on these features of base class. So swipe up, swipe down is one of the common features you can use, and swipe left, right. So swipe horizontally and vertical, that can be just used from here. Swipe up and down is by select the screen, and it lets you swipe by that based on the screen size and wherever the position is, you can do that. So down, up, left, right. These four features are, it's all about swiping. Touch can be useful also. And yeah, so some of them are for hybrid application. That is, if there is a web view, so you can use Selenium features for the web view, like CSS. So because web view is a hybrid application, they use CSS, and in that case, you can use Selenium feature like find element by CSS, and then perform the actions like click or tap, whatever you have to do. So that web view may not work in the native features, right? Native view So you have to just do trial error to make sure you know what is the app type is. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. So
I have a question.
sure.
Can I show you my screen?
Yes. Is this the right one?
No, sorry, the other one, please. Okay.
Is it wrong? Oh,
Yes.
no.
Okay, so I have my test here. This is where I am, going into Facebook and trying out their account nav. So I go to the account nav and then I am initializing the page factory for that menu here. And once I do that, after that I want to click on the get create page, and inside that I have this method which I am calling. So I'm trying to do the page factory initialization here. So after click, it's gonna initialize the page factory and return this thing. So when I return this, I have access to all the methods inside it, but I'm still getting null pointer exception.
Which line is that?
Sorry?
Can you show me the line number that giving you that null pointer?
Uh,
Track by line number so we know.
this 21. Uh,
21.
this
But
one,
this is not maybe the main one. There's
this, this one, I think.
35. So this is the Facebook test cases, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay. And can you scroll up?
That result?
No, scroll up of the code. Test your account menu. Okay.
Okay,
So they're
so
extending common method, right? What is in the common method?
common method, I don't think I have anything in common method. I'm just, extending it, my common API. Let me quickly see. So I have my username and everything, but mainly, and I have a sign-in method here, but mainly I'm just, extending my common API so that I have access to the driver.
All right. So sign in is are you using this method?
Yes, I'm using this method. So I use this method, let me show it to you. Over here. So I created another, instead of me going in, like this is how I am able to do it. So I have to initialize page factory one by one for everything. For all the menu, like wherever I want to navigate, I have to do this. I can quickly show it to you. So if I go here, so basically I am going here, my first over here. So I'm gonna click here, then I'm gonna click on like any of these, and inside that I wanna go in and like, do the assert basically using some element. But when I try to do it, I have to initialize each and every page that I've created, the UI that I've created. And the way that you show, it's not really working. It gives error, null pointer.
Okay. Can you try to debug?
Actually, that's what I was trying to tell. You actually have to initialize it over here. Otherwise, it will give you a null pointer exception. So
What if like
if you're
what if I'm
returning,
doing it?
yeah, for some reason that doesn't work. So you have to initialize at the test level. Over here, it'll give you a null pointer exception.
I
I'm not
mean, yeah,
sure.
I'm doing it for like all the methods. Like that's how I did it. Like all the test pass. But I mean, there's like it's kind of redundant writing the same code over and over
It
again.
is.
That was
It is.
no
That's
point.
what I was thinking last night as well. That it's really redundant. You have to keep on initializing the page factory over and over in each and every method. So
How about can you initialize in in the class level, not inside the method?
You mean outside here
Yeah. Like,
and call the method?
yeah.
I tried that too. So
No, no. I mean, just simply without creating class, without creating a method, can you
okay,
initialize here the trace factory?
okay. So, but that's gonna be like different for each one. So sh should I do that way?
So I just want thinking maybe if you have to call the method again. So I'm trying to, avoid that. So if you say UI create page, right? And
Yes.
if you do it outside the method, and this is not a test class, is it?
No, this is not the
Uh,
test class.
I was thinking it's a test class. So where are you doing the double work? Is it on test class, right?
Yes.
So go back to test class, right?
So you see, like for going into the account menu for for clicking on this thing, I created a method. So I'm calling that method every time in all the tests. So but it's still inside the test, this one. So get account menu. So to click there, I'm writing this. I have this method which is gonna sign me in and do the initialization over here and click on that
Okay.
menu tab. Once I call this one, then I have to do the account menu tab. I do that and get manage pages. So whatever link I want to click on, I click on that. But inside that, this method, it returns the manage page UI, and it has a method assert page. So in order to access that, I have to initialize it over here again.
Uh, okay, line 44, manage
Yes,
page.
yes, this one.
Uh, manage page. Okay. So you declare it here, and what other places you declaring this?
Uh, this one, manage page.
Huh?
This is the actual method, like the class.
So you need to declare that because it's a another entity of class, another page.
But
So,
okay, so same thing like if over here this works. This thing works. But if what's the purpose of again returning the that thing? Returning a class. For example, over here I am returning this UI manage pages, right?
okay.
So why am I not able to go in and just say then go to a cert page? When I do this, it gives me a null pointer exception.
So this assert page is part of that managed class.
Yes.
Uh, okay. How about a second? So this UI account page, but that manage page is not initialized here, right?
So
You don't want to
yes,
initialize. That's your concern, right? You don't want to initialize, but you still want to access that resource, right?
yes. So another way I tried using it over here. So I'm like initializing it over here, the page, and then returning this variable where I'm initializing this. So it should have all the methods. So when I return this, even that is giving me null pointer. So instead of me returning the entire class, I return the initialized version of that class. So both ways I'm unable to go to that layer. It doesn't work.
Uh, UI account manager.
Not sure
Mm,
if I'm able to explain it properly or not. I don't know.
no, but I think it's I cannot picture the whole workflow. I have to spend some time on it, the way you designed. But one thing is you have to keep in mind that once you design a page factory, we must initialize. But to avoid duplicate initialization, we have to apply some technique to so that we can reduce number of lines of code.
So over here, when I call this method, so when I initialize the account menu tab, I call inside there I call this get create page. So it goes here. goes to this method get create page. Inside this, it clicks on this and then initializes this and the next one, the create page UI. So whatever is inside create page, I should have access because I'm initializing it here, and then it returns this UI create page.
Okay.
So it comes back here, and after this, I have access to all the methods inside it, right?
Uh, Go back to that get create page.
So I have get create page here.
Now, where is that assert coming from?
So that assert is basically coming from here, this create page.
So you're expecting that, okay, since you are on that UI create page, you should be able to access that
Yes.
method of that
So
class.
this class and this one UI create page, I'm initializing over here, UI create page, which I return when I'm calling this method. And I'm calling this method in my test.
Hey Bilal, it seems to be working fine for me. I just tried it out. So if you go back to your UI, the main UI page where you have all, so this is it, right?
This is my
No,
test.
I mean the other one.
Uh,
So UI create page, I believe that's what it is.
this is like the final page
Okay,
where
so
I'm going to.
where are you returning all of these? Okay, here, right? So here at the class level, if you create the the object for your page factory, it should work. I just tried it. So if you create this at the class level, UI create page,
This thing?
yeah, this thing right here. So create it at the class level and rename it so it's not the same as your profile, as one of your classes. So rename this to like UI or something.
Yeah, I mean, but again, now that is, I would have to do it on class level for all these methods.
You would have to, but it kind of it doesn't make you do it again. I mean, it doesn't make you do it
Yeah,
on your test. So it's a little better than what we have currently.
okay. All right, it works. No, what happened there? It kind of failed.
I think try to change the object's name. So instead of saying UI create page, because that's the same as what you're returning for the class, right? Try to change
Uh,
the
shouldn't I be returning this?
no. Try just changing. So you should be returning that. That's fine.
Right? So the name is different. I mean, the case is different for these two.
So you're returning. Wait, is that not like part of your UI, UI create page?
It is?
So you're returning the page factory. You're not
Yeah, you're
returning.
returning the page factor. You're not returning the class page itself.
Yeah, you're not
Okay.
returning the
Okay,
class.
I'm doing that over here as well. With that, so in that case, basically, what do we do? Okay.
So
So,
here for UI manage,
okay. All right. So
yeah,
return new. Okay, I get it. So UI create page, right?
Right.
and
Yep.
change the object's name. Okay, actually now it should work because it's different. Yeah.
Okay, I get it. Oh, it still failed for some reason. Maybe some other reason. Stack Overflow error.
Stack Overflow. Oh, where is failing? Which line?
Uh,
32, 32, 50.
32. This one. It's over here.
Can you do one thing? Just change that the object you're creating. Can you change its name? Just like leave it
This
as
one?
UI. Yeah, just leave it as UI and then try it.
Yeah, but we're not using this UI anywhere. Doesn't matter?
No, you are using it because you see, that's the thing. Once you call this, it initializes all the elements inside of UI create page. So that's something you need to do before you access anything inside that page.
But when we are calling this method, this line doesn't get executed.
Oh,
That's
but
the
you need to call it inside the method then. You
which
do
I
need to
which I did, and even that wasn't working.
just try it out. That's how I did it. I mean, otherwise it won't work.
Okay, so
Yeah, because it was not calling, right? It was outside the method, and
yes.
let's try it now. Ah,
Null pointer.
21, 35, 21,
So
35,
this one, not this one, 35. This one.
35 of,
Yeah, it's the assert again.
and if you go to 21, you will create page 21.
So this doesn't have access to. I mean, we are initializing this page, UI create page over here. This one.
Can you go back to line 21?
Yes.
So we're doing page handling dot get text. Page heading. Where's the page heading coming from? Web element.
This web element.
Okay. Fine by that. Okay. Dot get text dot contains page heading.
And this one.
Okay. So we're on the UI create page.
What's inside UI, your account menu tab? Are you using anything from that class in here?
Yeah, this I'm calling this like this. That's where I'm initializing this this class over here.
Oh, okay, okay. So that's your main.
This one.
Uh, so let's do top down. So your base is extended to which class? UI menu bar?
Which one? This one. This one? UI menu bar? It's
coming from
basically this one. So which goes back to common method. So I have like all the other methods, but I'm only like this is the entire home page. Sorry, no, this is an entire menu bar. This entire thing, top bar. But I'm only accessing this one, your account menu. So this is the one. So I'm able to get here because I'm initializing this in another method inside the test class. I'm calling that method over and over again, and I kind of able to get to that. Like I'm able to open that drop down.
It has so many layer of
Basically,
instead of extending, multi-layer, we can also create an instance, right? So you can avoid complexity that way also.
I guess that's another way of like I will try now. I will try creating an instances of the classes, and hopefully that should work. But I mean, again, I was just wondering if this should work too, right?
Somewhere it's going wrong. Something going wrong with I guess extending multiple classes, and it's not, the page factory is not syncing up with it.
Yeah. Okay, I guess we can carry on with the rest of the class, and maybe towards the end, if you have
Uh,
time, we can take a look at it.
I can take a look at it offline, but this is your Facebook. But I don't to share your password. So, but if you have other modules without authentication,
I don't have I have set it as my environment variable. So I mean over
even though
here,
if you do, even if you do it in one variable, we have to. It should be in part of the code, maybe, right? You have
no,
to.
no, it's not part of the code. So it's part of my system variable, system environment variable. So if you
Yeah,
set up your bash profile using your own
I know,
username and password,
but still, I need that your your username password in the machine at least, not in the code, but in the machine.
yes. So I mean, if you want to try it, you can try. You can set up your own username and password, and you should be able to navigate in your account.
Do you have anything specific to
No, no
uh,
pri secret, nothing inside it.
all right, I'll look into it then maybe.
Okay, all right. So it's on my GitHub. I'll send you the link and I'll send you the email with a bit of explanation.
Okay, sounds good.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
All right. Let's me. So, how many people are able to start working on mobile automation framework? If you don't have Mac, it's fine. You just try to Android. Anyone? All Mac users here except you. Then, did you try Android?
Yeah, right. And it worked
It
fine.
works.
Yeah.
Did you build a framework?
I was doing that coming to
Okay.
everything was running fine. Just
All right. So, who else tried? And then I know few of you tried. So the message in Hangout. Uh, if you can get Mac machine later on, then you could try both. If you don't want to spend for new machine, you can always use used machine, right? But Aman is he can help you out, guys. As he was mentioning that you could buy cheaper machine. I think the new one even Mac Pro you could buy for $800 from Apple Store. You can also get refurbished ones for $500-600. Refurbished is not bad, certified. You can get one.
So for the Windows user, we were able to get it running yesterday. So probably they didn't have a lot of time to, go through it. And also the app, like the Snapchat app, there's nothing like a lot of, we can't do a lot with that, with the Android. So if anyone knows any other app that we can test on, that'd be great help.
Okay, so Android, right, is pretty open. The security level is not that complex. So pretty much any Android app you can do, run under Appium. iOS app is a problem because a lot of security layer they have. Not every iOS app you can automate without provisioning done first. So in the market we have you work at a lot one open, which is they give you Appium guys they just have this for everyone to try. But it's going to be hard to find iOS applications that is open and you can download and to automate that. So restriction is on iOS side, but Android shouldn't have any problems. You can, I think, automate any Android app as long as you have the APK. And Snapchat is like not that many features, maybe just sharing videos. Beside that, what you can do, let me show you one thing. New York Post on the good side. If you download New York Post, I think I already have one. All right, let's try. I work on Nearpost, a company. They're the client of our. So it had good features that you can see if I have on my machine. It's Nearpost is a good site to test the Page Factory. Why I didn't choose this one? I forget that it's the right candidate for the Page Factory. Let me see if I can download the APK. So if you have an Android phone, can you download even iOS? Well, you don't have to do iOS. Sorry. If you have Android phone, please download New York Post. But you need the APK to point from your APM. Yeah, this other thing. Let's see. All right, so let's go to here. Job. Huh? New York Post. Second. I don't know if it's the same APK going to be. All right, so let's launch. We don't launch every day. It's fine. That's it. Sachin, do you have charger? Huh? Okay, sure. I have one. I'll just need the socket. Oh. Yeah, right. And you run so many applications in the mail. It's run out fast. No, I have charger too. I just did the wrong way.
If you need a longer one, we can
Maybe. Maybe the extension will be better. Do you have extension or not?
have the longer one.
But you can extend it. taking time. Android emulator. We're back. Second.
Yeah, like have some complication here. Like yeah, you guys okay with that? You said it too? Oh, like a little bit. So I have some problem and I was wrong that thinking. Should we like so like they're on the doctor. Like I just need to set go to the but she said natural. Yeah, so I just feel that the last like last time, right? But I thought that was how that was like in the exactly same. Doesn't matter like what it is. That's how it is. Yeah,
So, all right, let's try the real device. Let's do this. All right, so it's running on the device. No problem. Running on real device near post, which is good. So I'll share to you this one. So if you take a look on near post, you can see that it has many news, right? News tab. So you can derive class for each tab. News, right? Quickly the news. All right, this is for news. You go back. Go back. Yep. Refresh. Eugene, did you share the class link?
I did.
Okay, I'll need try on the machine because I have running instead. So everyone, please download your post on Android if you have. If you don't have real device, try in emulator. It may work on your machine. Oh, it's agree. So you can click on one of these items. So these are news categories, right? So you can build the epics for each categories and click one by one. And once you go to that page, let's say you need to read the sports, right? This is the sports news, right? Now, what do you want to do with the headlines? This is the first, I guess this is the important news for sports. So you're going to click on the first one. And then read that. What you can verify here is the headlines, the writer, the time it's posted, and some news if you want to verify the text. How can you verify those texts? The news could be different for different titles for different time, right? You cannot hardcode the news content. So how you can verify is that you can call the API, right? So if you work for New York Post, they'll give you a list of API. You can call the news for sports, for others. So that API call will return that news content, and then you can verify from the UI side that it doesn't match. So that's how you can test some content for like any news media or any other application that has into dynamic text, right? For sports, after 1 or 2 hours, with different titles, different news. So you cannot hardcode all the values, contents into your code. That's not going to work because the news keep changing. So even the Android developer who developed this, right? How they get these contents is because he's calling the API also. So same way you can make a call the API. Hey, give me all the sports news. And it has a priority, okay, which news should be top, right? You can prioritize that. And based on that, you can, okay, once you get the API call, get the response, all the news content, the headlines, the news writer, the time it's news uploaded, and then you grab all those, parse it from JSON. Then JSON parse, you can parse it. After you parse, then okay, Appium can, scrap the news from the UI side with Appium. And once you scrap the text for title, posted time, and content, then you can verify that news into your API calls you made. This is how you can make automation of any like New York Post, New York Times, Huffington Post, any news media website that you want to verify some text. This is how you can make a call to API and returns, parse it, and verify the data. So no hardcode is needed. What can you hardcode it is page title. On the website, there's a page title, right? Those doesn't change. Title is always same for each categories. In that case, in the source code you can expect values, maybe title of the page or other categories of the page. You can hardcode those value into it. But news, it change right time to time, and you have to make the API call to do that. So everyone download that APK if you can. I download it from here. Where is it? Oh, it should be up. Oh, yeah, something. All right. So click on it and get Android app. Okay.
Computer as well.
Huh?
Computer as well.
Not well. Yeah, you need to have because this is how you point to enter. One second. No. Give me a second, guys. So let's try that. Um, under still running from other machines. What's wrong with that? Has everyone downloaded it? Yes? No? Okay. We don't find the APK. Alright, why we don't find the APK? Alright, let's point to that. 1 second. Source and group add launch and inspect that. Okay, it's running fine there. Alright, so I can show you the real device, how it's calling and everything. I don't know if it should emulator. Well, it's not responding much. Let's try. Okay, everyone downloaded the APK. Alright, can you run it? First try the emulator if you don't have real device. And then if you have real device, just run it there. All right, let's do this. Okay, so let's see. Thank you, Shashin, for doing it. All right, is there any echo going on? No, right? Running other device, other machine. All right, let's take a look. Dear post. So if you run a real device, your post has many news categories. You're going to click one by one, you verify some text, and also you're going to swipe up and down. Right? All right. And let's run the text. All right. So article page. All right. Okay, good now. No, it's one again. It's a Google service error. We have to handle that. Tap on navbar and it will go news, first set articles, then news, macro, and others. It's lagging. So if it doesn't show up within a certain time, it's going to fail. It's not a good experience with emulator. It's kind of slow. So Android you should try to run in real device. iOS simulator is not bad. Its performance is okay. You can run on simulator for iOS, but for Android, you should try to run real device. It's faster. It's known issue that Google guys they know the emulator performance is not good compared to simulator.
Yes, I'm trying to open mine and it's been over 15 minutes and I'm still waiting for it to turn on.
Okay, you don't have Android phone?
No.
Okay, yeah. I have Android phone, but the class can see it, but guys online cannot see it. That's why I have to run in emulator. I just want to show you that the swipe down is also working. So there are more categories in the bottom. So you need to swipe down. This is it's going to do. Hopefully, we can get to that point. It's very slow.
And we can do this online too, right? Same we did for like same as Sauce Labs and Browser Stack. Can we do this in
Yes,
the
yes.
cloud? Yes, okay.
Once you build a framework, it's done working. Just point to source lab or browser stack. You don't.
Sauce Lab has this capability too for mobile apps, like mobile
Yes,
platform.
source lab is the one they're promoting Appium, so they want you to run there actually. So for the mobile platform, I think SourceLab is better than browser stack. It's because one of the main developer, few of the main developer is from SourceLab. They're promoting Appium actually. They're funding for Appium. So SourceLab do support. Come on, go to that point where I can swipe. Question. Now swiping, right? You see that? Guys, can you see that? It's swiping. You saw that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have the method swipe up and down in base, you can use it. It's because if the page is long, then you don't see the content until you swipe. So next you should click on media, right? Okay. Okay, it's still running. While it's running, let's go over the code. Is there any background noise? Let me know, please. So this is the one we are calling the API, and we are parsing it here, the buffer reader and the stream reader, and once you verify that, once you call the API, we get the news, and store to map is because we have different type of news, right? So store with the categories for different news, for living media tag, so store to map by calling the API, and then we return all the news, which is the data here. So this is the first news title, which is all the news for different categories. It's for timestamp, right? You saw that. What you need a timestamp for? Is because if you go to the news, you saw for each news there's a timestamp, the date, minutes, and the year it was posted. So you need to handle that too. So this is all about JSON parser, the title and the timestamp. These are all the pages. Article page. So for news, find by, Android find by. For news, for Metro, page 6, sports, business. This is all about the pages, right, that we declared. So it's all page model for the articles, right? And then of course, we have constructor, article page, and then these are the methods we call metro.click, sports.click, so on. Once you do that, we also have set article value by different categories of news. Set article page value. This article page value, we are calling these are the experts assigned. It's for business. I was at work. So this is the place where we're scraping the news. Remember, we say we have to read the news, content, the author name, titles, and so on. So this page will scrape the news from the page. Doesn't matter what content, what categories, it does the same thing. It's a generic class that scrape news for all different kind of news we have. And then we can write content verification class here, and generate content verification is we went over. So now this is the one. Navigate to articles, spelling error. So this is where you're calling the article page, and once you call the article page, you can go by saying, hey, click on news, navigate to news, navigate to metro, navigate to page 6, sports, business, and so on. This class is all about, this test class is all about navigating to different news category page. Just a little trial is not going to be here. Yeah, so that's what this is about. We're still under process. That we're still writing more test cases. Some of them will be should be removed, but this is the one. This is the appropriate test case to complete test cases for navigating to the different news page. And the next step is we have to verify the tests. And to verify it, we have to scrape it first, right? This is the scraper. We are scraping, and this is the news parser here, right? We parse it there, but we store it to map into here. And this is for the content verifications. So article page. First, we navigate right to a specific page, and then scrape the news. So scraping the news is calling the API and parse the JSON contents, right? And then you verify it. So first, you get all the features, scrape the feature titles, author, date and time, and this is the full news. So you go there. This gets all the news. Yeah. So I want you guys to try New Post for the Android because it has so many content that you can work with, the features that you can work with. The code will not be shared, but you get some ideas. But APK is there. I'll share you the link for APK. Any questions?
So we will just copy the post.
Yeah.
So we APK, right?
Huh?
We don't have.
I can share that.
Yeah, of course.
I wish. Get some idea that how we can work with. So first thing is few things important. The page object model is clear how to derive the classes. Second thing is that probably we can go over how to make the API call, and then once you get the API call, how to get those response and parse it from the JSON to text. But the API call you cannot make it. You need the access token to authentication to make the call. You'll be able to do that. So you can ignore that part, but simply just do the navigation part. Okay. Any questions on this? Guys? So is everyone able to download APK and run it from APM, regardless real device or emulator? I tried to reach out to a few other guys from last batch. Sorry, you're going to join. And people do have plan when they work full time and the weekend, they have families. I was expecting like 5, 6 guys will join and advise you guys to how to search, the markets and market the profiles. So we'll have maybe a few of them will join. At 1:15 we'll have that. So at 1:15 we'll try to have a discussion panel. Maybe we should have a break before that if you want to. So we'll be back by 1:10 to 1:15 because they'll be joining by then. So if you want to go for a break, fine. If not, you can stay. If you have questions, we can go over that. But let's go for a break, right? If you need to. So 1:15, we'll have a few guests that will be discussing and giving advice of the job markets. Okay? Thank you. If you need to break, just go ahead. Otherwise, stay. Let me.
Not really. You're saying that the server is not running, but everything is fine.
Oh, sorry. What errors do you have?
The server is not running.
Server is not running?
No.
Okay. One second. Let me coordinate them today. You mean the Appium server?
Yeah.
What is the Appium interface?
This is the Appium. This is the setup.
Hello?
This is
the market right now. As soon as you go, it's better for you. You have more practice. You know every single details, and it's I mean, you'll feel somewhat nervous to go to the market, and you would have lots of questions like what the recruiters are going to ask and how's the real interview going to be. But you'll be fine. Just give it a week or two. Maybe not in the very first week, but on the following week, you'd be doing totally good. And you have to go to the market to learn how to take the interviews and all that, no matter how much research you do. So that's one thing Alamba already covered. And he said one more thing very nice, which is the concept. It's not about knowing the tools. Like when I joined Apple, I didn't have to like do the automation in Java or TestNG or Selenium directly. Not really. I got hired here with the Java and Selenium background, but what I had to do was completely different. It was in Python, it was in Robot Framework. It's not the same thing. So they would not really care like if you know the tools very well or not, but the concept does matter. End of the day, if you understand how this industry works, you can always learn. And most companies will give you some time to get used to with their system. So yeah, good luck with all of you, and yeah, like if you have any questions, like you can ask later. Thanks.
Thank you. Next, Farhan Rashid. Please unmute from your side, Farhan. Thank you.
Hi everyone, this is Farhana. Assalamualaikum Mafi Bhaiya. I hope everyone is doing pretty good. So I'm actually currently working at a company called Highway Toll Administration, which is in New Jersey. And as Mr. Sharif said, like if you are learning Selenium and actually working on the Java environment and everything, it doesn't necessarily have to be like this when you actually get a job. Similarly, I was hired as an automation engineer, but in the job field, I'm actually doing something different. I'm actually doing I'm actually coding with JavaScript and using the Jasmine framework, which I had to learn. And also the same thing I'm gonna say, if you know the how the industry works and you know all the sprints and methodologies and everything, you should be able to do any kind of frameworks. You should be able to pull up all the works that have been given to you. And before getting the job, my advice would be to all of you, get in the market as soon as possible. And if you're doing anything like a side job or a part-time job or a full-time job, I would suggest you to quit the job as soon as you get in the market, because that takes a lot of determinations and your time. You need to take up all your phone calls, which I didn't actually do. That's why it took a little longer for me to get the job, because I was doing my job parallelly, but which wasn't a good idea. But as soon as I quit my job, I got this job within like 3 weeks. So
Very good point you made. Yep.
yeah, that's actually a very good point. I'm actually advising you, whoever is working, make sure you don't have anything else to do when you are actually in the job market, because they're gonna ask a lot of questions. It's okay if you don't know first three interview or four interview, you don't know the answers. That's fine, but this is going to be a repetitive questions every time, and hopefully, like on the ninth or 10th interview, you crack the interview uh, like with at least 90% of answer, because you already know what they're gonna ask you. And also try to be very smart with your answer. If you don't know, just don't tell them that you don't know. Uh, Maybe give a smart answer, like you were in that environment, but you haven't worked with them directly, but you know how things work. All those things. So do not say like straightforward no, because they want you to see how confident you are. Because trust me, when you're in the job market, uh, it's lucky whoever get the job in the same environment that we are actually, learning and have knowledge. And even though if you're not getting the same thing when you're working, it's fine, because people in the job currently who in your job place or job whoever industry, they are actually very helpful, because they already know that you don't have that experience in your current project, so they will always help you to learn more. Right now in my company, they are really helpful. They're actually giving me some times to learn the Jasmine frameworks. And if you know Java, basically these all are object-oriented language, and it's very similar. So don't get nervous, don't get freaked out that you don't know anything. Trust me, you guys know everything when you finish the course. And also, please take my another advice would be, there is so many people in tech, they provide with so many advantages, like the interview sessions before going into the market, mock-up sessions. Please, if you have free time, just talk to people and tech people. They will arrange the 1 or 2 session with you guys, and that's actually pretty helpful, because before going into my face-to-face interview, I had an interview with the people in tech, and it was very helpful. I cracked my first face-to-face interview, and here I am. And anything, if you have any questions, I can probably answer you guys later on. Thank you guys, and all the best.
Thank you, Farhana. Okay, next, Ilham.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
First of all, thank you, Mafi, for inviting me to this session.
Sure.
It's my pleasure to share my experience with the new students. And I would like to thank to all People and Tech family, because thanks to them, I was able to change my life. So I started studying at People and Tech in 2014, September. And I actually took 3 courses. So I assume that more than half of the students completing this course here today came from a non-technical background. I mean, they don't have any formal IT education. So I would say you are very brave people. Don't forget about this, because you are taking a totally different education here. And and I want to address to these people, because I was one of them. I didn't have any IT education, formal IT education, before joining this course. So any of you who are finishing today, who are completing this course today, didn't understand most of the course materials, do not give up. Just do not hesitate to retake this course, because so did I. When I completed for the first time, to be honest, I didn't have any idea about Selenium, Maven, TestNG, and other tools which are used in automated testing. So if you feel the same, do not hesitate to retake the course for the second time, even for the third time. My advice for people who completed the course successfully is real world workplace is of course different from what you have seen so far. My advice is try to learn Java deeper, because if you know Java, then other frameworks and other tools like Selenium or Cucumber or anything else is very easy to catch up. So everything depends on programming language. And I would say real workplace is a little bit different from what you have seen. For example, so far you have tested applications like Google or Amazon or Facebook or anything else in production environment. So they are already deployed to production servers, and you have only tested user interfaces. In real world, you will need to test in test environments. It's a bit different. And you also need to test the backends as well, and you will need to test web services as well. So configurations are different. So what else? So I agree with other guys who talked before me. So most important thing is concept. So when I say concept, is understanding how this automation works, and most another most important thing, in my opinion, is Java or any other programming language, because everything depends on that. If you know that programming language, then you can work in any framework, and you can build any framework yourself, and you can test very complicated scenarios, because UI Selenium only tests user interface, but in the real world, you need to test the UI with connection to database and web services, and you need to process web service responses, and you need to make logical filtering, sorting. So these all depend on Java knowledge. So my advice is to learn more about Java collections. They are very important. This maps, lists, all this stuff very, very important in testing. And what else? So if you have any questions regarding real world workspace, then I'm happy to answer. And I forgot to mention that I joined I'm working. Currently I'm working in United Health Group company. This is the biggest insurance company in the world, and my position is senior software engineer in test. So.
Are you still in Minnesota? Or?
Yeah, I'm based in Minnesota. Yeah.
Okay, good.
I moved from New York to Minnesota. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll discuss about the relocation. A lot of people, yeah. So I admire Elon a lot, coming from a different background, and he never gave up. Continued retaking the course. At one point, I was thinking to myself that how long does it take one person to finish up? And I never had a chance to talk to Ilham personally that why is taking so long. Sometimes I don't have a chance to discuss with individuals. So he's coming from a different background, his business background, but being persistent, being stick to it one that I'll finish it, I'll do that. That is something you need for a lot of people. Even though if you come from computer science background, but if you not stick with, if you don't persistent, you're never going to achieve the goal, right? I have seen that coming from technical background, not able to succeed is because they give up so easily. So this is the one thing Ilham I have, and I admire for that. Thank you. Jawad, next. Let's welcome Jawad. He's also in California.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Mafi, for inviting me. My name is Jawad, and I'm working as a QA lead in ADP in Los Angeles. So the problem of going last is you really have nothing to say. Everybody said everything. I was a student of People and Tech. The immediate previous batch was, when was I a student?
Yeah, last batch.
In 2016, I graduated from People and Tech in 2016 October.
Yes, yeah. Last batch.
Yeah, last batch.
Yeah.
So, what I did wrong was I was trying to prepare myself for the market, and I was studying really hard. I was studying a lot, and I was always thinking that what's the point of going to the market if I don't know everything, and that was kind of a wrong approach. And that's the best thing to do is to go to the market within 2 weeks. As soon as you get your resume, Okay, the first thing about the resume is don't post the resume the way it is. There are some issues with the resume sometimes. Read through it. Read through the resume. Read what's written there, and then post it, because it has some mistakes in there. There are some mistakes in the resume, English-wise, grammar-wise, and vocab-wise. So give it a good read, and it's not necessary that you have to. When you get your resume, you will get overwhelmed. You will see there are so many terms and so many tools that you supposedly know about, and it's not necessary that you have to know all of them. But if that's on your resume, people will ask you about it, and be prepared to talk about it, or be prepared to divert the conversation in a different way. And don't think that at work, if you get a job, don't think that it is difficult to sustain. It's see, I'm a lead over there. I have a team of 4 people, and everybody has 5 years, 6 years of experience. So I am teaching them. Yesterday, I taught them how to use Git. One of them was asking, why does a conflict occur? Like, if you're working for 5 years as an automation engineer, you do not ask why does a merge conflict occur. So, but the point I'm trying to make is, I helped her out, and everybody in the job field is usually very supportive, and even if you lack some skills, other people will make up for it. And be patient while in the job market, and be brave, because sometimes you will get frustrated that, oh, other people got jobs in 3 weeks, I'm still not getting it. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe it's not gonna happen. Don't give up. Don't give up. Keep trying. And there's so many tutorials also online, on YouTube and everything, that if and like, if you feel that you can, like, on an interview, say you're stuck on a question, look it up. Look up how to do it, and then for the next interview, while looking something up, you will know you will know other stuff as well. So yeah, don't give up. Be patient, and yeah, good luck. Thank you, Mafi.
Thank you, Jawad. So Jawad is working on the well-known company ADP, who does payroll for all the organizations. Most of the organizations, they use ADP. And he's doing as a lead. So while Jawad is taking the course, or end of the course, like Jawad and many other students have the same questions. Can you lead the team? Can you work as a senior automation engineer? Yes, you can. If you lead a company like ADP, one QA team, so you have the skills. All you need is confidence. What do you learn? And as I said, like, Google is there. You can add more skills, keep learning, and you can be a lead there, a QA manager, QA director one day. So yes, the skills you're learning, you just need to keep doing it. And this is the role. What we prepare for is sort of QA lead, or slowly become QA manager. Some people are able to become a manager and do more other things. Now, another student who also took the course last batch, she couldn't make it today, but that was interesting. She's like not even 20, 19 and a half. She finished her high school and doing her first semester in community college, coming from different background. So also, number of years of experience, not enough, because it's too young, but she got the job. She started last week. She thought, let me see, you can join. Let's see, she might join. But yes, people are, don't give up. Just keep learning. So a few things, few key point here. One Farhana made, that is, don't work if you are in the market. You have to receive a call, you have to prepare for the interviews, so on. Don't work. This is one good thing she made. Another one, relocations. A lot of people get comfortable wherever they are located. Most of them are like in New York. Oh, I have to get a job in New York because I'm learning Selenium. Don't do that. A lot of good programmers like Sharif, MD Alam, they moved from New York to other states. MD Alam moved to Albany. It was like temp job. It was one guy who left for the leave and for a few months, and Alam didn't hesitate to go. He went there from New York to Albany, right? And Sharif also here and there, but he was mostly New York based, but then he moved to California. So one thing I'm trying to make is that jobs all over the US, right? So don't get comfortable in one place. For first job, it should be open to relocate. So wherever you get the job, just go out there. Florida or like Ilham was also in New York. And he has kids, he has family. He moved to Minnesota. It's even colder state. He didn't hesitate that, and he is working now in United Health Group, right? It's one of the big health group. So see that you have to sacrifice. Don't get so comfortable in one place. You should move, at least for first job. Then if you think, okay, you're gonna come back. It's fine. Those are the things. And also another point they make that don't wait. So this is after we end the session, we'll discuss how to prepare the resume and when you should submit. Those are the things we're going to discuss. But you should go right after course end. You don't have to learn everything to just face the market. When you face the market, you will receive a lot of questions, scenario questions. Then that will also part of your learning process. It will prepare you how to face the next interview questions. So besides that, they made very good points. Now you probably have some questions, right? You can ask, raise your hand, and we can distribute to whoever wants to take first. Okay, the question came from Bilal is, best way to practice for interview, what to say about our availability and how soon can we work for them? Another question you have, most difficult things so far on the job you may have faced. So it's open, whoever wants to pick up. Alom, Sharif, Arna, Ilham, Jawad. You can also read from chat messages. All the questions are there.
I'll go for the second question. Most difficult thing so far. Keeping up your attitude, basically, for me, is people see we go there and supposedly we have experience and everything. So you're going to work, you're meeting you're meeting the whole company, right? At the interview, you're prepared, you have your guard up, you're talking to them confidently, and you get the job. But at the job, right? At the job, you are interacting with them as friends, as coworkers, and you let your guard down. So people will ask you questions about your past job environments, not to test you, just to know what you're capable of, just to make conversations. And at that time, you have to be very prepared, and you have to know what you're saying. So I feel like for me, it has been very challenging at times to maintain that. Sometimes I had to change the topic. Sometimes I had to shy away. But yeah, that is something you have to be very careful about.
Hi guys, I'll take the first question. Best way to practice for interview. Well, the thing that I did while I was in the market, I was in the market immediately as soon as I got my resume. So I was getting interview calls. I was getting recruiters call, and what I did is I used to write down the questions they used to ask me, all the questions, the question that I don't know, the question that I know. I got my book ready, and I Google the answers, and I also write down the answers. Just not like I found the answers and I'm reading it out. That's it. I used to write it down on my book, so I already have a book of my interview questions. Also, you can go Google the questions before you have any interview. There's so many Selenium interview questions. There's so many other questions. Also, for your interview preparations, you should know exactly what is written on your resume, each and everything. Because if it's on your resume, they already assume that you should know all the tools. But unfortunately, you probably don't have that much time to go over all the tools. Just know the basic of what is this tool doing, because if anybody asks you what SOAP UI does and you don't know what is, and it's on your resume, it looks really weird because it's on your resume. So just go through all the tools. You don't need to be expert on all those tools. Just know the basic high level, like the knowledge of it, what does it do and how does it works and everything like that. And also when you get any requirement, job descriptions, go to the descriptions as well and see the key point, what they're actually looking for, and just prepare yourself according to the requirement as well. Suppose I remember one interview with one company, and they were actually looking for someone who knows Selenium, and also they are looking for someone as well from the background of back-end testing. So I had to Google all the back-end testing questions, like not crazily, but the basic one. Those are the key points that you need to remember. And once you get all the questions, like, probably after 7 interview, you got lots of questions already. You know that they're going to ask all these questions about yourself, about your experience and everything. You get the second, it's just a repetitive questions all the times. Maybe 1 and 2 will be added, but you 5 questions and you give 1 or 2 wrong. But the thing is that you have to be confident enough and smart enough to give the questions. Just move around the questions to your particular environment. If they ask you questions, just play with the questions, like move around the question to your field. So they will start asking questions about your field. And also, the very important thing, don't give up while you're in the market, because sometimes it's very frustrating. Keep your own confidence level high and make yourself available every time. Like when you get a call, just pick up. And the second question is, whoever is asking what to say about your availability, how soon can you work for them? Okay, this is something that I face a lot. If you are still in the saying that you're still working for some company, it's better to say that you need 2 weeks or a week, because you are still working, and each and every company have a rule, like you have to give some kind of notice before you leave. And if you are not in the market, that current job, and it says like the end date, you can say that you are actually available immediately because your contract already ended. Depends on the resume and depends on what is written, like if it's presently working with some company, or you're on project. Like, it's up to you how you want to actually say this. What I did, I was actually looking for the job very desperately, so I was like, my contract ended. So whenever they call me, I was like, my contract ended and I'll be available for joining ASAP.
Okay.
And also on the resume, if it says presently you're working, you should say a little time, like a week or 2 weeks. Generally, 2 weeks is normal, but you can say like a 1 week, because my project will be ending very soon, probably next week or something. So you'll be available. That's pretty much it. And yeah, that's what my experience was. And if anybody has some different, they can also share.
What's the name of the company? It's National Highway Transportation?
No, it's Highway Toll Administrations, HTA.
HTH. Okay, okay. Thank you. So we also have Kia Begum. Kia, what's the name of the company you work for?
SEP Technology Consulting, SEP.
Okay. All right, everyone, this is Kia. that I was talking about, right? Kia, introduce yourself.
Hi. Well, hello, everyone.
They say hi.
Hi.
So,
Hello.
beside you, there are other, probably don't know them. MD Alom, he's in Chicago, worked for Walgreens. Sharif worked for Apple in Cupertino. Farhana Rashid, she works in New Jersey, Highway and Toll Administration. Ilham, United Healthcare. Jawad, you know Jawad, right? I think it's the
Yeah.
same,
Yeah, we were in the same class.
same class. He worked for ADP, and other people didn't join. They have other plans. So yeah, they've been talking about their experience and any advice you can give to current students. Please go ahead.
Yeah, okay, well, my experience was that I was really young and it was really hard for me to like even trying to find a job at first. And especially with I had no background in any type of technologies, I didn't know anything when I first started. But, if you work hard, and I really did, and I mean, I learned everything. I studied really hard, and then I ended up getting a job in New York, in Manhattan. So I was really lucky to do that. It was my first interview, and I passed it. So alhamdulillah about that. And then, I mean, it just goes to show, like, you have to try really hard, no matter, like, even if you don't know something, just keep studying, keep trying hard, and really paying attention to class, really get the concept of everything. And, like, so with me, I was having one of the issues I was having is like whenever the recruiters would, get a hint that I didn't have any type of background in, like, I didn't have a degree, they wouldn't even want to give me an interview. But so then what happened, where I didn't give up, like I kept trying and trying and trying, and then I finally got something. And then my first interview, I got the job. I mean, when I went to the interview, they asked me a lot of questions. It was like I was actually a really long process. I had to stay there for a long time, and there was like 3 different groups of people who came in to interview me. So they asked me like a lot of questions about my resume, but what happened was I stayed confident. I didn't, I was smiling, and I was very, very confident. That's one of the things that they like to see is your confidence. So even whenever, like, so basically whenever you get a phone call and a phone interview, and after the phone interview, they'll call you, like the recruiter will call you back, and then he will ask you how did it go. And at that time, you have to show that you're confident in whatever you answered. Don't tell them that maybe it didn't go well or anything. Just be like, it went really well. Even if it went bad, just say it went really well. And when you show up in the interview, just be confident. Even if you don't know the answer, what I would do is, like, whenever I didn't know the answer, I would get to the closest possible answer that I think is right, and I would just give that with the most, like, the confidence, like with a lot of confidence. And then yeah, I mean, that's what they really liked when they saw me, is my confidence. And they thought, and then you want to show them that you want to grow with this company. And that's one of the other things that I would advise you guys to do, is like when you go to the interview, just make sure that they see your potential, of growing, and your commitment to this company. And yeah, so, and again, like, study hard and really get the concept, like, and then, well, whenever, like, they were asking me questions and I didn't know something, I mean, I didn't know, like, a definition of it. So what I would do is, like, I would pretend that I can't remember at that current moment. So then I would give, like, the closest answer. So for example, one of my questions was how to take a screenshot, right? So then I couldn't remember the syntax for it, but I kind of, like, understand how to do it. So I kind of, like, describe the concept of how I believe it is, like, how it's done, and they were happy with it because they understand that it's impossible to remember every single syntax, but you have to show confidence, um and show them that and you have done it before, even if you don't know something. You know what I mean? Like, I guess. So yeah.
Thank you. So, see, yeah, you were in the first, you're doing your, what do you call it, undergraduate degree on, where, in Borough of Manhattan College, right? So,
Yeah.
so are you in the first year, right?
Yeah, I am.
So she's not even 20. So she's the most youngest one from my entire, teaching career that she got a job. And she's in Manhattan, right in 2 blocks or 1 block away from her school. And you're doing your full-time school, I guess?
Well, what happened is my boss, he really liked the fact that I did, like I made it seem like this is my career, this is where I want to go, and this is the route I want to go to. So he actually pulled me out the other day, and he said that after a week he wants to discuss about my school, and he's gonna really try to fix my schedule around my school. So he's really supporting me towards that as well.
That's good. So what Karen know? She was able to build a framework. She worked on Facebook applications and other e-commerce. Probably she automated that. So what Karen know? If you go to market, other people are working. Guys, pay attention to this now. Fix your problem later on. So what Karen know? She can build a framework. If you go to market, if you see a lot of people are working in the field 5, 10 years, and they don't have skills enough to build it. But think about it. Without your degree, just from high school, and you took the course and you're able to build that company, you can contribute to that team. This is she has confidence and she's able to follow the guidelines. That what we offer, she's able to grab all the concept and apply it. She can, I'm very confident, she can give you more input than other colleagues she will have that who have been working in the field for many years, right? It's because age doesn't matter. In this field, age, degree doesn't matter. As long as you're serious, you're confident, and you're willing to do, you can do it. So Kea was frustrated that, the resume was very, no, it's not that. A lot of guys take 5, 6 years by default, but she didn't have that. It's hard to put because, you didn't work as an automation engineer when you're in high school. So it kind of showed that you can prove it. But she never gave up. She kept trying. I used to message her on Hangout. This is what I do. I push people a lot when they're in the market. I push them, hey, what's the update? Did you get any call yet? So I push them a lot. So in Kara's case, I was also a little concerned that she couldn't get a job because with her background, with her age and other things. But she able to do that. I'm very happy for her.
Thank you.
Yeah. So now, guys, you should raise questions and we can distribute the questions. We have expert, Mr. Alam, Sharif, Farhana, Ilham, and Jawad and Kia got job recently. But those four folks, have been working a few years. But I'm very happy for Jawad get the lead position there, first job, and it's very nice.
But
yeah.
he actually did not get the lead position first, but he was promoted to the lead position in a matter of a month. So he got hired as a senior automation engineer, and then, compared to his other colleagues, he was performing a lot better and confident. That's the reason, he was promoted to the lead. And actually, he gave me a call the other day asking, yo, we're going to hire in our company. Are you going to apply? I'll be taking the interviews. So that was kind of fun.
That's fun. So we do have, coming from this batch, if Java is to hire you guys, feel free to call them up. Also, we have Tanvir, who took the course I guess last batch. He's also in lead position in New Jersey, and they're hiring more. I guess he's building the team there, so he couldn't join today. But we do have our in a key position there, leading the team, and it's nice to have networks so we can get a job easily, right? And you should share the resources, right? If you face an interview, you should share, hey, what kind of question did you get? And it's going to give you a sense that what to expect from the next one or from other companies, right? So yeah, feel free to ask questions so we can distribute those questions to the panelists. Raise your hand. I saw Paul, you have been waiting. Sorry about that. Go ahead. No.
Unmuted.
Sure. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
So okay, so I was talking about the concept of what is, I mean, why we have to test an application, what is the reason for that, how application is tested, what are types of testing one application. These are the concepts you have to build. Don't spend a lot of time for one particular thing. For example, you are spending lots of time to understand the exception class of the Java. I don't think that is the good approach. You should have some overall knowledge, like how many testing tools there are right now in the industry, what tools which company are using which tools, what are the alternatives of the like programming language, like some people using Java, some people, as Sharif bhai mentioned, he's using Python, but we spend time learning Java in people and tech. So there are lots of tools in the industry. You don't have to spend a lot of time to learning those. You should know something, but the main thing you have to understand is the concept, like how the what are the tools for the web servicing, what are the tools for the sharing, like some company use Confluence, some company use like some other tools, some company are using ALM, some company using Larry and the Jira. So how a software is tested, and what is the approach, and try to build some common questions that interviewer asking. As Hanif Bhai mentioned, first 5 to 10 interviews are just for learning. So don't be upset if you don't hire in the like first few interviews. And also, as I believe Farhana Rashid mentioned, you if for the interview availability, you should be very open. If anyone asks you what is your availability for the interview, just tell them I'm open from 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, and you will be available within 2 weeks. And Mafib and Hanif Bhai also mentioned that that I took very seriously is looking for a job is a full-time job. So I really like that approach. So you have to spend a lot of time for looking for a job. If you have any other question, you can ask me.
Okay, next question is Jabed Rashid. Jabed?
Hi, hello.
Yes, go ahead.
Yes, Mr. Murphy. I actually have a question for Kaya. The question is, I mean, as being 19 years old, like, how difficult, or I mean, on the resume, how many years of experience did you have to put, or, what did you say?
Well, they put 3 years of experience, which was kind of fishy for a lot of recruiters, unfortunately, because they would ask me, like, immediately, they would ask me, like, they would ask me, like, do you have, like, a degree? And when I would say no, they would be like, so how did you get the job when you don't have a degree? So that was actually one of the hardest things that I was facing. So my story was that, I was doing what I said was like, okay, well, when I was younger in high school, I learned a little bit of coding, and then I started learning all this. So when I graduated high school, I ended up getting like an internship. From there, I was learning, and with using that experience, I got my first job as like an entry-level position. So if you have like a really good story behind it, you can maybe pull it off. But I guess like, yeah, you need a really good story, and you have to be really, really confident with your story. So yeah, so I guess like that's one of the advices that I would give you guys in that situation is come up with a really, really good story, and like no matter how much they say they don't believe you or act like they don't believe you, stick with your story.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
So here's the thing. Since the industry is changing, right? Uh, if you go back 50 years back, if you want to be a billionaire, you have to be like in 60s or 80s or 70s. All the oil tycoons or industrial tycoons, they become like billionaire in 60s or 70s. You never saw a 20 someone like 20 or 30s a billionaire, but you see now Facebook founders, Snapchat founders, Trombler founders. Trombler founder, he's from Brooklyn, Williamsburg. He didn't have a degree. He was a high school graduate, and he sold his Trombler $1 billion to Yahoo. So now you have to be confident what you're selling for. If you know the skills, if you want to sell your skills, you have to say that confidently, right? Now, you have to change, market is changing, and they have to accept that. Recruiters or whoever asks questions, they have to accept the reality, right? How come someone becomes CEO of company without degree, or even he's under 20? It's possible. People are doing it. Same thing here happening, guys. So don't hesitate about your skills. If you slowly even see 50 years back, you used to see to become a president of the United States, they used to be average age like 50 up. But now you see the younger are getting like Obama or Clinton was much younger. JFK was younger too. So it's about can you show the confidence that you are able to do the job, right? So in the tech, in the IT field, is changing rapidly. So age doesn't matter if you can, because you are writing code early age, like Elon Musk or many other folks, or Bill Gates. They start coding in their early age. That's why they're able to, build the products in their early 20s and release in the markets. So to get a job, those questions you will face, but it will. You have to find a story, as Kaya mentioned, and you have to show that. Now, if Kaya can prove that she can build a framework for them, compared to other colleagues who couldn't do the job, she could be promoted to maybe lead.
Mafi, can I tell you something?
Yes.
So basically, like where I'm working, right? They wanted someone with Selenium experience, but they're not using Selenium. They're using like this thing called Test Architect. But at the fact that I knew a lot about the concept, again, I'm going to exaggerate how important it is to understand the concept. Because I knew the concept, they really liked me. And then I think it was Wednesday, right? My team lead, he was really, really impressed with me because I was fully understanding it. Because I knew so much about like how to build a framework with Selenium. It was like I learned everything in the first day, and he was really, really impressed. He was like, he even told the boss on how much progress I made in one day, that I automated like this this sign up form that it took him about, like, he said it took him 2 weeks to do, and I did it in one day. And he was so impressed with me just because, again, like I understood the concept, so I knew exactly what to do. So again, you guys really understand what you're doing rather than what you're like, like how you're doing it or whatever. Like understand, like go depth into whatever you're doing. Because once you learn something and you understand the concept, it's easier to learn anything else, even if they throw it at you. Because I didn't know I was going to be faced with this new tool on my first day. But, I handled it because I knew the concept of how to build a framework with Selenium. So it was really easy for me to understand that.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Mafi, I have one other question.
Yeah.
The question is, I understand, confidence is the key to success and everything and all that, but let's just say, I'm in a room full of 2-3 people and they're interviewing me and stuff like that. So let's just say I come across a question that they ask me, and I have no idea like what to say or anything like that. So how can I avoid that in a nice way, or like, can I skip it, or what do I say at that moment? You know what I mean?
One thing Kia mentioned, yeah, that is, try to as close as possible to explain. If you have no clue, then it's a different case. That I'm not familiar with that. Yeah.
If you have no clue, then just pretend like that's not something you dealt with in depth. So whenever I knew something, but I knew the concept of it, but I didn't, like, I know that if they start asking me detailed questions and I wouldn't be able to answer, I would say like, okay, it's not something I did, like, I didn't do a lot of it, but I worked around that and I have seen how they do it, and they wouldn't ask you anything about that because they know your limits, So
Right.
you could do that.
And then Kyle, like one other thing, like let's just say I'm being interviewed and stuff like that. Is it a good thing to like keep my answers short? Because I understand that like sometimes when they ask you questions and you try to be very descriptive and stuff like that, explaining certain things, it could kind of get you tied up into more things, right? So it's good to keep your answer short, right? And just move on.
Yeah, actually, you do want to keep your answer short, but okay, like one thing that I learned from my interview experience is like try to give answers from your own experience. So whenever they would ask me about like, so for example, they asked me about like implicit and explicit weight, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in that case, I didn't. I only knew how to write the implicit way, but I didn't know how to write the explicit way. So I told them, listen, I wouldn't be able to give you like a book definition of what they are, but I can show you, like I can tell you from how my experiences with that. And that's exactly what I told them. And they're like, yeah, that's fine. So I started explaining, like, okay, well, when I came across this certain situation, and I was using example from my actual Mafi Bai's class, like whatever, when he gave us the project, and that's something I had to deal with. I started talking about that. I was like, okay, well, when I was trying to load a page and it wasn't coming, so that's when I used it. And what that does is this, this, this. And then what that would do is this, 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 you know? And that's exactly what they want to see, is how you experienced it, you know? And it's not like
That is
what it is,
exactly
it's what is your experience with that, huh?
right. That is exactly I was about to say. That is the correct answer. Just relate whatever you have done in your project. Like as she was saying, like the question was asked to her, and she didn't give them the bookish definition. She just relate that question's answer to her experience, like what did she did before with that particular tools or maybe uh, whatever the question was. So just relate your experience with that answers. So exactly whatever she says, it's so important, guys. You should remember that whatever they ask you, just relate that. Oh, I did this. So my current project. So about this one, this is the particular scenario that I have worked with, and I had come across with this problem. So yes, she was absolutely right, and that's a great tip to all of you guys.
Okay, and Farano, one question for you. I mean, throughout the PMT course that we're taking, we go through all these little, modules and stuff like that. So, I'm talking about SDLC, STLC, and so forth, But the question is, when I go to the job market, like, since, let's just say my last project was, I was an automation engineer or so forth, is the questions going to be more basically focusing on the Selenium part and the automation and, what I did on my previous job, or is it going to be like overall, even as DLC functional and all these different type of testing questions is going to come up?
Well, it depends because it depends on the job descriptions. Whatever they're looking for, they will ask you questions related with that. So if you are actually going for an interview, they look for an automation people to join. Obviously, they're gonna ask questions about automations. Also, they're gonna ask behavioral questions like about the whole business concept and everything. So if it all depends on the business requirement, the job descriptions. I can give you an example that I was actually going for an interview over the phone, and that could be anything basically because the job description, the automation engineering for Selenium. So I was preparing myself with the Seleniums, everything, like, going crazy with all the question and answer before the interview. But they started asking me questions on SQL Server. So I'm pretty sure our course also covers the SQL, right? So they will ask you SQL questions, and then you can always say, like, if they go deeper into backend testing, you can always say that you know what, I know backend testing, but as you can see, I was hired as an automation engineer, so my full dedication was for the automation team. But yes, here and there, I also do backend testing. So you can actually pull the questions towards your comfortable field. Even they ask you lots of different questions. So be brave. Like, don't just tell them that I don't do backend testing, or I don't do whatever tools, maybe web service testing. Just as she mentions, you can say that, oh, you know what, I was in that environment, but I was not fully a part of that. But I know how things are being done, and I know the basic concept of that tool, a particular tool or whatever. So when you say that, they will not go deeper into that tool. But when you are confident about something, that I was confident about automations, Selenium, Java, they were actually throwing me questions on Java and Selenium. And one of the questions somebody asked over there, like, what are the questions that the Selenium, about Selenium they are asking? You can go into Google. There are like 50 questions, 101 questions, or whatever they have on Google available. The basic questions, most of the questions, I can even tell you the questions that was asked me like thousands of times, maybe. How do you locate an element? That's the probably the 100% common questions. And also, please do Google how to screenshot in Selenium framework using Selenium code and everything. And also, those questions you can find out over there on Google. So, and the interviewer who are asking questions, probably 80% they are actually looking from the Google. So you're okay. Don't hesitate to take an interview or anything like that. Even if you do not do well on the interview, don't be upset because, hey, there's 10 more interviews to come. So you'll be good.
And Farhana, I know earlier, I think you were the one that said, during your interviews, you kind of, created a list of questions that you came across or something like that, right?
Right.
I know it's a little personal, but do you, is there a way you can share those, or you just, I don't know?
I can definitely share those. Probably in Hangout. Which batch you are? I'm sorry.
Which batch? I'm from the.
Currently, you are from. Okay. I can share it to people and take. Maybe they can. I'm not sure how to share it, because if you can give me an email address, I can share it to you personally.
What's your email? Can you write it down on the thing or no?
Well, what's your name again?
Name for what? I'm sorry.
Your name.
My name? Yeah. Actually, you wanna take my email down? It's Zabed, Zabed.
Can you write it down on the chat? That will be easy.
Sure, I'll write it down and I'll send it over so you could email it. Then I'll probably share it with the whole class.
Yes, that would be a good idea.
His last name also Rashid. It's a Rashid family. So.
Yes, we're the Rashid family. Oh, I'm sorry. Your last name is Rashid too. So there you go.
All right, cool. I'll send you.
We have 3 Rashid on this session.
Oh, okay.
Thank
all right.
you so much for your time.
A couple of them this session because I was in the people and take the other day. Probably I met a couple of them. Not you guys.
Sure.
All right.
Okay. So next questions. So Alum and Sharif posted some of the questions that you can copy those and store. We should have some database that from each semester, that whatever the questions you face, if you can compile into one place, and there's no way you can go beyond that list. Probably should start doing that. Huh? Discuss about that later on. All right. Any other questions? Next questions. Guys, raise your hand if you have. Paul, do you have questions? Paul? Okay, good. Any other questions from anyone? Guys, this is your opportunity. It's not easy to find them because they're working full time and giving time in the weekend. They're very nice. That's why they're doing it. You should do the same thing. When you get a job, you should come and share your experience, and people can get benefited.
That is so awesome. I feel like I was in the class the other day and I was actually listening from many other people, and now I'm doing the same. It feels really great. Thank you, Mafi Bhaiya. I'm glad that you took the call right away and give some time. And I want to mention that MD Alom, when he took the course, he was really helpful to teach other students. Sharif was also to organize everyone and stay longer after 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. They used to stay longer in 6, 7, 8, 9 p.m. even. So I really, this is how you have to do to lead a team. Don't think you're wasting your time. This is what Bilal is doing in this current batch. This is what Ijan did, and Furkan and many other people did it. You should take the lead and organize and teach everyone, right?
So we need some leadership too, not only just technical skills, but also how to organize and get everyone on the same page. So this is what that's why the batch was successful. Thanks to Alom, thanks to Sharif, that we did a good job, organize everyone and make sure you don't left behind. Okay, who's next? Go ahead. Uh, it was not clear. Can you repeat that? Oh, the first week of work. Yes. Feel free, anyone.
I can answer that. The first week of work, you basically read a lot of documentation. For me, you take security trainings, you take company policy trainings. Um, Basically, first 1, 2 weeks, it's your learning period, getting to know what the company does, what the business side of it is, and in my work, they have a framework built for automation. So I was trained on the framework, how it works, how you manage test cases. See, in people and tech, we kind of know how to write test cases, right? But it's automation is not only about writing test cases. You have to there's a flow, and there are like thousands of test cases that you have to manage them and run them on a regular like scheduled time. Basically, test management is a big part. So first few weeks, you would learn. They would give you time to learn how they do it. Does it make sense?
Paul.
It, it varies from company to company. Not all of them would have a framework. Like during your interview, you will see people will ask you, do you have experience building a framework from scratch? That's one of the most common questions you're gonna get, and you have to say yes. And we are building in Mafia-based class. We are building a framework from scratch, and that's exactly how you do it. Of course, in a way larger scale. But luckily for me, the framework was already built, so I learned how to work on the framework. So it depends which company you go to, what kind of automation they have already, because a lot of the companies don't even have automation. That's why they're looking for these experienced guys who will come help introduce automation to them. Try to avoid companies that do not have any automation, that you are going to be the first guy who is going to introduce automation in the company. Try to avoid those positions. There are tons of other positions with excellent pay who already have automation and they just want a guy. Because for our first job, that's what we need. And it sounds challenging, it sounds very nice and everything to go introduce automation to some big company. No, I don't believe that should be our first job. For sure.
Ilham, sorry, I don't know how that happened. You were muted. Sorry, go ahead.
That's okay. Yeah. So I also would like to share for this question my experience. So when I joined United Health Group, they have started new project, and that project did have some sample kind of framework, but not fully functional. So actually I started building on that framework that will do the testing. So in the interview I said, yeah, I can build framework from scratch. And so from the when I started day one, they just showed me framework and other documentations, project documentations. So they didn't give me actual work during first 15 days. They just let me learn and read documentations, and I just sit in the meetings and listen to what they are talking, and so how the things work there. And after 15 days and 20 days, they started giving me some tasks and giving some scenarios to test. And then I started building on that framework. So it depends on company who you're going to work for. So if company has already running framework, then it will of course be easy for you to just join to the flow and just create new tests inside the existing framework. But if company doesn't have framework that actually functions, then it will be a bit difficult because it's not as easy as you have been doing so far in your course during the study. So yeah, it depends on company to company.
Okay. Okay, next. Thank you. So I'm going to share the Dropbox to those folks that are in the panel today, so they can share the interview questions. And
Mafiba, can I just say something to the students that I think they really should they should just study this one thing that I didn't know about, unfortunately. So I think I should just tell them. Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so something that they taught us in the interview class, which I didn't know about, was that the test planning and the test approach for automation is completely different from manual testing. So I suggest you guys should really look into that, because you don't want to. So my question in the interview was, how many stories did I do per sprint? And I got really lucky with this question, and then I said 2, which is correct, because manual testing you would do like 15 to 20 test cases per day, but with automation it's different. So really look into that and know and understand what's going on with that, because that's something that's really going to come up.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So basically, you know how you have like the test plans for all your tests, right? So with the test plan and the test approach, right? Basically, the test approach for automation is different from manual. And that's something that's really going to come up during interviews. And so you guys really should like look into that, or ask someone to like explain it to you, because I think during your core classes with ALM and stuff, they explain that. But I hadn't caught that question, like that answer at that time, but then I found out later. No. So you know how you have like the test plans, and then you have in your test plan you have the test approach. So the test approach is different from manual test approach. The test approach for automation is different. So that's something that they asked me during my interview and I didn't know about. So I'm just saying like you guys should really like look into that and understand that, so you guys don't mess up during your interview. Okay. So basically for automation, you have to like evaluate like how much time you have, and not everything is going to be automated. So you really want to like learn, like you have to understand the tools, time, a lot of these things, which is like, it depends on your company as well. But so you have to evaluate different stuff than you would during manual test plans. Does that make sense? It's
Um,
actually, you can just Google it and then you can find that there.
uh, Let me help with the question. So what she is trying to say that automation and manual is not the same approach. In
Right.
general, there's a lot of things that you would not be able to automate using whichever framework you're using or not. Um, in general, when we are saying test case or test plan, these are actually like in the manual testing side. You would only have it on the manual testers, like using these words. In reality, if you're working on automation, you would not be saying like, oh, okay, how many test plans did you write today? How many test cases did you write today? Not really, because you would be scripting, like sometimes we call it test script, sometimes we call automating new features. So it doesn't really have a legitimate name like test plan in manual or like test cases in manual, because a lot of the times your manager will ask you, okay, so what are the things we can automate? Not necessarily that you'll be able to automate everything. And then you look into the new features, you look into the new part of the application. Sort of sometimes you just decide what you can automate. And you don't write like manual testers, like you don't prepare a documentation before start like automating those things. So you just you look into the features, you start coding, you start adding the basic scenarios, like let's say smoke sanity, and then you can enhance them in more like detailed tests, like you are verifying the CSS fields, you are verifying if the image dimensions are okay. You are like going into more deep stuff in the more detailed test cases. So we don't call them like test plans, test scripts, or like uh, I don't know, like with manual, it's a little bit different. I know what she's saying, but I don't have the exact wording to explain it to you all. Just in general, understand that test plan, test case, these terms are used in manual testing more. For automation, well, the requirements in Agile methodology, if there's a new feature, that's a new requirement. If your manager says like, hey, like it would not be, see, you learned ALM, I mean, ALM, yes, application lifecycle management. So, so that's not always gonna be the case that you have a strict chain of command that it's planned first. Well, it's a requirement first, then it's planned, then it's developed, then it's manually tested, then it's automated. This hierarchy is not always gonna be the same. Sometimes you just get some new features that, hey, you have to add these automation cases, and it's not going to be a written requirement a lot of the times. It could be coming from a bug, or in Apple we're using a software that's called Radar. It's more like Jira. It's an Apple internal thing, so it doesn't have a project management system. Only it explains what are the faulty parts of the application. So you generate your requirement a lot of the times. You look at the problem when the developers are working to fix that, you sort of get the idea like, okay, so we are talking about to fix this scenario. We need to test these things. You have to be very communicative with the developers. If you are not talking to the developers, you are not getting the automation done right. You have to understand, because they will be getting the requirements in details, like what they have to implement. For automation, you may or may not get those kind of strict general guidelines. So that's why what I believe, like there may be different approaches, but what I believe, you be more communicative with the developers, you make friends to them, you do lunch with them almost every day, so you know what's going on, you are attending the meetings, and in general, like you can develop test cases at your own rather than someone giving you directions what to do, because giving direction is not a common thing in this field, like not much. You have to be very proactive, and if you're not doing something because you didn't get any direction, that's a bad thing in your like profile in the company, because hey, you could have done something, right? So you have to be proactive a lot of the times. You have to build things, and of course you can do code review with your colleagues, and before merging it onto master, you can talk to others like, hey, so this is what I did. Like you can evaluate your work before like finally merging your branch to master. So yes, like don't imagine like it's always going to be set of requirements, it's always going to be in a chain of command. that you know what to do exactly. No, a lot of the times nobody is going to tell you anything. You just have to figure out, like, okay, let me figure out the requirements, what it should be, what it could be, how I should automate that. Should I write in one test case, or should I make 5 different test cases? Which one is going to benefit me from which perspective? So yes, that's sort of what she wanted to explain, I guess. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would like to say something on this issue. So in agile environment, everything is different from previous waterfall environment. So in agile, not everything documented, and everything comes on the fly. So there's agile team. Agile team consists of developers, business people, testers, and these are the key 3 parties. So developer, business, and tester. So business people come with some new feature, and agile team sits. We call it Scrum calls, and in that meeting, we start developing acceptance criteria for that feature, and everybody contributes to the acceptance criteria. So it's done as teamwork, and requirements and all the stuff is done as teamwork. So, and sometimes already agreed requirements change without your knowledge, because sometimes developer and project owner change little bit something, and when you run tests, that something starts failing, and then you need to ask why that change has happened, and so on. So you need to be very proactive and communicative with other team members. So yeah, this is very interesting process and challenging as well.
Okay, thank you. Next question from Salma Munir Jamal. Go ahead.
Yeah, hello everyone. Thank you for coming. I have a question. Although I know that different companies are different and the interviewer also different. So in general, when we go for an interview for as an automation test engineer, do they in one point do they tell us to write a Selenium code or Java code?
Okay.
In my experience, I would say I don't have to write any application code that will be part of the application, but I write a lot of code to test that application.
The question is more, Ilham, in the interview, you...
During the interview, yeah, I was going to say some hints about this process. So interview process usually consists of 2 or 3 phases. First, phone call interview, and then maybe second phone call interview also, and then third phase, usually face-to-face. During that face-to-face, they may ask you to write some simple Java codes. They look simple, but if you don't know, then that's really difficult to write in a couple of minutes. For example, they give you 5 minutes to write how to reverse a string, some method to reverse a string. So they give you 5 minutes. Even if you have some experience with Java coding, but if you don't know how to work with string class, then you cannot write in 5 minutes. So you need to be very familiar working with strings. And if you search Google interview coding questions, you will get a bunch of them. So you need to be familiar with those questions, coding questions. And you need to be write that kind of methods very fast during a couple of minutes. So yes, some interviewers will ask you to write some little codes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
So we're going to wrap up before 3. We're going to finish by 3. We have a few more minutes left. If you have any concrete questions, that is, instead of asking about, like test cases or DLC process, ask more about how to handle, the interview process or challenging. Those are things instead of, because those are things you can Google it, find it, but to ask someone who's working in the field, those are leading companies, and you can get out of them is more about the process of running the team and challenges they face. Those are things you can ask more. Okay, that will be more helpful, I guess. So let's take a few more questions if you have. So Alex was asking, can we become a developer if we want to? Yes, who wants to answer this question?
Can I take this question, bro?
Yep.
All right. So being a developer and tester is not too different, too difficult, nothing like that. It's about the frameworks. You learn the testing framework, TestNG, and Selenium for developing test cases. If you want to be a developer, you have to look into more different frameworks. And the best practice is to, whatever the application you're going to be working on, you can look into the codes. Most likely you will have 100% access to the source code of your application. Look into that, keep learning, and you can easily switch from testing side to the development side in the company or outside of the companies. But of course, you have to learn a couple different things. Testing, we are validating and verifying the functionalities, whereas in a development environment, you have to understand how to develop a new feature. It's not like impossible, it's not difficult, but just sitting around is not going to work, of course. You have to learn different tools, different languages, and let's say whatever level of Java you learned in this course, it's mostly focused on the basics and, like, to a certain extent, the intermediate part of Java. You have to keep learning more. You have to start coding. You have to be coding a lot more than what you are doing right now. So yeah, and by the way, just this is my personal opinion, being a developer is way too stressful, and it's not worth the extra amount of money you are going to be making a year. Besides, if you're working on testing, you'd have a relaxed life, much more relaxed than a developer's life. And on the side, you can probably do something else, or if you're doing development for your own purposes, that could turn out to be a better option rather than being a developer. Because sometimes our developers go insane with way too many things for a very short period of time. And when I see the difference between me and them, like, okay, I'm almost getting paid the same amount of money versus I have like 3 hours of downtime on every 8-hour work. So that's sort of a choice you can make.
Yep, good point. So test development and application development is pretty similar in terms of the tools you're using. Now, to build the application, you have to know more about how the application will work, all the workflow, all the user stories you need to understand, and then you need to know like how to build the API, web services, connect to database, and building the business logic or building the controller, and so on. It's a matter of for someone few months, maybe few weeks to months. You have the access to the same code base that developer are working on, right? So then slowly start picking up, fixing the bugs or adding new features, right? Try to do a code review with them, write unit test for them. That will slowly can get their coding styles. You can learn more from them and slowly become application developer. And work with the projects. Come up with your own ideas, do side projects, and build that. That will give you a lot of experience too.
Mafi bhai,
Yeah.
one last question before the time's up, if it's okay.
Yeah.
Anyone could answer this question. This is regarding the database. So again, if I were to be an automation tester, like how often will I be, dealing with the database side, and how often am I going to be able using it or something like that?
Okay. Anyone?
Can I take this question?
Sure.
Very often, I would say, because everything related to database. So you need to find data, test data from database, for example. You need to check database with user interface. So you need to work with database all the time. So you need to be very good with database handling, SQL and other things. So do not ignore database. So everything depends on database.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. So we should end now. It took more than expected time. I don't want to feel discouraged because the weekend they took some time, and I told them a few minutes, and I'm afraid to lose them for next time to invite them, so they won't feel not coming in. I don't want to do that every time I invite them. I want to keep it short as much as possible. So, any important last questions? No, right? Okay. Say again? Oh, mobile testing. I think most of them are working on a browser automation. I don't think if you work, you can go ahead and share. Anyone? No, I think mostly.
Usually the database is tested by the backend team, right? I mean, it's not really at least to my job, it's not a requirement for me. It's mostly in the browser and continuous integration part. But database testing, because database is the most valuable asset, you can say, the company has. So very limited people has direct access to the database. You may be verifying the data in the front end or in the UI, but not necessarily you are directly like making queries to the database and all that. Like it's not very common in my understanding.
I said not testing. I didn't mean testing database. I said working with database. So
I mean, yes, you are very right. I mean, anytime you're working with the application, you have to like you are using the database, right? And we are getting the values and the output from the database. But I think the person who asked this question was more focused to like, do we have to automate the database testing, or do we do lots of manual test on the database? Which in my like we have 5 different teams for the same application. One for completely backend. Then my team is the front-end UI development team, and I'm actually part of the development team. It's sort of a little bit different than other companies. And then we have QA, IT, and production. So like in QA, it's mostly the automated test, not the automated test, like the manual test, and some automation is done in QA. And then IT, like we have like different layers before it goes to production. But I barely have to work with the backend. So I was just sharing my experience.
The Sharif mostly working on CI. He has very good skills now on continuous integration process.
Yes, but if anyone needs any sort of help with continuous integration, like not only let's say Jenkins, but there are other tools like Bamboo, and you may have to use Heroku or Orchard. There are many other tools. Like I'm sort of the primary contact for continuous integration in this team, and then I do UI automation. So like I assist and help out the automation team as well. So sort of it's a hybrid position, not pure. Yeah, like I mean, if you need help with continuous integration, you can ask me any specific questions.
Thank you. All right, so that ends our last questions. Now, I want to thank everyone who joined today. Thanks for your time and help them out.
Sorry for interrupting. Before you stop, like me and Jawad wanted to share something like very quick and outside of this conversation, sort of.
Absolutely.
Jawad, can you go ahead?
Why don't you go ahead?
No, just you say it. I just spoke for a few minutes. So.
Okay, so guys, me and Sharif, we are trying to build a platform, a web-based platform to provide online education in Bangladesh. So our platform's name is Icon Academy. The link will send it to Sharif. Can you send it on the?
It's done.
On the thread, it's done.
Yep.
Okay. So the concept behind it is that the end goal is to provide live classes from 9th grade level to 12th grade level, plus other online classes like career related classes or any programming related classes. The end goal is to provide live classes, but in order to provide live classes, you need very, very big infrastructure and a lot of resources that we don't have. So we are planning to start off with recorded classes, like recorded tutorials on our and hosted on our website, and also we are planning to release our product in June this year in Bangladesh. What we're doing is we're offering courses for SSC and HSC level. I don't know who are from Bangladesh, they're familiar with it. It's for exams people take after 10th grade and 12th grade. You can take like 50% of the test depends on multiple choice questions. Like you're given a question and you have 4 options and you choose one.
MCQ.
So we're creating a lot of data in order to create those courses, and then people can take them online, and they can check them again and again. Like they can take the quizzes as many times as they want. So that's the plan to get it done by June. And Shorty, you want to take over?
Yeah, sure. Actually, someone asked me a question like about my email, so I'll just share that first. If you have any question, you can reach me at shreev.hbu@gmail.com. And Rajiv also asked like, how is this different than shikha.com? So well, first of all, like we are not marketing our website here. So like what I'm saying, since you'll be testing a couple different sites or get the hang of automation, you may wanna like give us a feedback if you want to, like how we can improve this website or this application. And it's gonna be a lot different. We will be doing our beta release on April 14th, and hopefully like everyone would like be notified how it's a lot different than the existing systems that in Bangladesh they have. Actually, they don't even have a good system there for online education yet. We, like anybody in the US, we had lots of good materials and system for this sort of education, but in Bangladesh, it's not a common thing yet. And so, like, feel free to browse the site, and if you have any suggestions, or I have shared a demo ID and password, you are welcome to sign up. But if you don't feel like, just you can use test and test1234 as a password. Share a feedback if that would really help us out, and that's about it. Our main goal is to bring very high quality education besides the coaching centers. Coaching centers are crap, sort of, like most of them. So we are trying to get like the top-notch people who have really good skills with teaching, and to get them into our platform so we can make that content very affordable, and you can share that throughout the country, or in case like we can say world, but since our focus right now is Bangladesh, so I would say country. And if you have any other questions regarding testing or the market, you are always welcome to shoot me or Jawad an email. We'll love to answer them.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for doing it. Other people will get benefited from this.
Thank you, Bye.
Thank you.
All right, you too, like share your opinion as well whenever you can.
Cool. Anyone else before the end? No. All right. So thanks for your time again. If you know your company is hiring, please do forward that requirements to us. It will be helpful. And guys, they give you the email address. You can share. Reach out to them. Also, we do have Facebook page, Selenium, for people in tag. You can join, and you will find their contact there too. Stay in touch with the LinkedIn profile. If you have LinkedIn, share with them. That will be helpful. If you have any question, quickly ask them. Or I do also share the Dropbox to them. And guys, if you can share the interview questions you faced last, it would be appreciated, so they can take a look on those interview questions. So do post on Dropbox if you can. Again, we try to do that every semester, every session. So I know the weekend is your free time, but if you can manage some time, like half an hour, 45 minutes, it will be very benefited. Will be great helpful for the current batch, because without direction, it's really hard. A lot of confusion is there, how to face markets and so on. It's really what gave you today. It's a very valid key points. You advise them, and they'll take it from here. And I appreciate Kea, you joined. You were able to make it today, and you motivated a lot of people. You made it, and you're doing that. Thank you. Thank you, Ilham. Thank you, Jawad. Thank you, Farhan Rashid. Thank you, Sharif, and thank you, Alam, for taking time today.
Thank you, Mafi, for inviting us today.
Sure.
Thank you, Mafi. Bye.
Thank you, Kea. And thank you, everyone. So, what do you think? What are your thoughts, guys? You can make it? Yes? Even if you repeat one or twice, but you should do it, right? Shouldn't give up. There's no need to give up. See that those companies, they're working, big companies, they're working. We have many other people are working, Nike, HBO, and New York Times, Reuters, Bed Bath Beyond, and many other places. People are working, after taking the course. So you can join one of the big companies. Now you have to just give time, practice, and face the market. Tomorrow we'll discuss about how to prepare the resume and so on a little bit. So today let's end. Before we leave, is there any other questions you have? Tomorrow we'll go over. We have more questions about the mobile automation framework, payload model, and other things. If you have, let's bring up tomorrow. So that's all for today, and we'll talk to you soon. So tomorrow we'll discuss more about, besides the automation, what else we should learn in order to get a job, right? What other questions they might ask. So we'll discuss those tomorrow also. Thank you, guys. See you tomorrow. Was it helpful, guys? Yes? Okay.
Just quitting the job and
it does make sense quitting a job. If you cannot manage your time, you should quit a job in order to get an interview and prepare you for the interview process. You should. Yeah. So you should do the same thing. Even though when you get a job, you should do the same thing. Find some time and help others.
you can call me.
Sure, you're going to forget. I know that.
No,
See that there are many other people that I was expected to join today, like from all over the states, like few of them are working in Florida. They took course like a few years back. I want to invite them too. I can reach them out. So I don't blame them. They get busy with other personal life, but if you can make some time, it's appreciated because it's helping a lot. The next. Yeah. Okay, so do practice, man. There's nothing much we can do besides practice. All right, and so I was going to go over the teamwork today that the framework is supposed to check in, but we'll do it tomorrow. So if you haven't done yet your framework, please work with the team and submit tomorrow. Tomorrow is our official last day. Well, not, we have boot camp after that, but tomorrow is our kind of, the regular session is tomorrow going to end, but then next week we'll have the boot camp. So,
how far we should go, like testing